And Katy football is excellence.
This program is built on talk. It's built on character. It's built on hard work. It's built on fundamentals. And it's built on love.
My expectations for this year was, we felt we were going to be, we knew we were going to be young. We had some young kids that had to grow up, and we felt that if they did, that we'd be okay. We felt like we could be competitive and have a shot to run deep in the playoffs.
It's pretty cool because there's no one that I wouldn't have picked us, and you wouldn't have picked us. Nobody would have picked us.
Expectations going into this year we're going to be high. I mean, I think that's the way it is for us every year. But I think that just taking one game at a time, regardless of what the outcome was, we knew that get started early on, that we may take some lumps because of the schedule we had.
We graduated a lot of guys last year, and they were great football players, and we had a lot of great football players coming back. But a lot of these great football players had not taken a snap on the varsity level.
Expectations at Katy are always high, and we really didn't meet our expectations at first, and it gave us something to work for.
The loss to North Shore, it was a huge disappointment because knowing that you could have won that game, but you had a couple mistakes here and there, which totally could have changed the game. But I remember leaving and just keep on looking back at the scoreboard and just thought, man, we could have won by 3, or we could have won by 7.
It was just like, ugh. It's like just getting sick for a whole weekend and you just can't get rid of it.
It wasn't that I was so much scared, I was just being too cautious.
Come get the ball! What the hell are you doing?
Having a rough start, to say the least. It showed a lot about who we were and how much we needed to improve, and it was pretty tough.
I think we were young. I think we had a tough schedule, and we went to North Shore and didn't play great, but didn't get killed. And I think maybe we thought, hey, and then we got slaughterized at the Woodlands.
I think that they may have felt, some false sense of security. North Shore made some mistakes the first game too, and things. And both teams, weren't playing as well as they were playing in weeks, 10 or 11 and stuff like that. But I think that they got a false sense of security by losing the game like they did.
The Woodlands game, one of those things. I think what they did is they kind of exposed our youth a little bit. They were a good football team. It wasn't like we were playing somebody that was just very average. They were a good football team, and they got us at a good point in the year when we were still kind of developing and trying to develop our kids, and it was just one of those things. Some things went bad, it just kind of steamrolled and got away from us.
At the beginning, it's like, all right, we can come back, we can manage. Then they just kept racking it up, and like, then, like, oh my, like you didn't know what was happening, like it was all a dream and you wanted to wake up.
And then the Woodlands happened, and I was like, man, did that just really happen?
The Woodlands was a complete shock. You know, I never expected that. I know nobody on our team expected that. And, you know, that kind of turned us upside down for a little while.
We got beat, we got hammered pretty good, but I don't know if we knew how to lose. And I don't know if, you know, we respected losing, and I think that was a big thing. We didn't know how to take the loss.
It was a bad chemistry and a bad fit there for a while, just because it was we had a lot of young ones, you know.
I really don't feel like we probably had strong enough leadership right then at that time to pull us out of it.
To be honest, I really didn't think we were going to lose 47-0. To be honest, I seriously did not. I thought it was going to be a close game, it was going to be a good game. Oh, man.
We come in this year and the 2 games, Woodlands game, it was just, we had no confidence. You know, we were just out there playing, hoping something would go our way, and we were waiting for something good to happen. You know, we weren't confident about what we're doing or what we could do. We were waiting for something good to happen.
I think after the Woodlands game, I saw a coaching staff with a lot of resolve that we were going to get this thing turned around.
You know, my approach was going to be, we're this bad. If we're going to be this bad, we're going to be this bad my way. And, you know, we were going to go to work, and we were going to find a way to get better and have an opportunity to win.
Demeanor of our kids, they felt a little bit, I think, embarrassed by that loss. They did not, they responded in a way that you could see in our week of practice after that game that they did not want to go through that again. They did not want to experience that again.
There's one thing to work hard and improve your opportunity and your chance to win, but you still have to learn how to win, and we hadn't learned that yet. And so that particular week we had a decision whether or not to pack it in or work even harder, and we went to work.
It was full go everywhere you went. It was no walk-in or get off the field. And it was hard. I mean, I was gasping for water every second out there, and I was cramping, and it wasn't good, but it helped us out.
If other people could bounce back from it, we better bounce back from it too, and bounce back the right way and bounce back hard.
The kids responded too. That's the whole secret to that deal, because they could have laid down and ran off. See people do it all the time.
I think that exemplified the perseverance that's present and pervasive in this program. I knew right then we were going to be okay.
And it showed the true character not only of the kids, but it showed the true character of the coaching staff. And it also showed some of the true character of some of the community.
Flower Mound game was big. Scoring the first touchdown was big, was huge. There was a great sense of relief.
First pass of the game, it was a touchdown, and it was just a deep sigh of relief. It was just like...
The moment that sticks out most in my mind would be the first pass play in the game against Flower Mound Marcus, when it was kind of like our offense kind of clicked and turned on, and it really kind of got started with Taylor Brandt's long touchdown pass from Parkway.
Field goal attempt is good.
Inspire each other. Inspire each other. Be a team. Pull together. Help them out on the sideline.
out to Chris Robertson. In the end zone, that's a touchdown.
They needed to see some fruits of their labor, of how hard they'd worked. And so, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect, but we did get a win.
We went to where football's at its purest level, and that's boogers, snot, blood, just stuff flying around everywhere.
Maybe I've been the problem, maybe I'm the one to blame. But even when I turn it off and blame myself, I can feel the same. I've been thinking maybe I've been partly cloudy. Maybe I'm the chance of rain, or maybe I'm overcast, or maybe all my looks. We got that one, baby! I've been thinking about everyone, you look so lonely. But when I look at the stars,
But the Flower Mound game was a building point. The Oak Ridge game was a building point. You could see the little bit of the swagger coming back with Sabe, and I think that's probably where it all came, started coming together.
In the end zone, first series. You understand? Yes, sir.
Right from the get-go, when we came out and we were all hyped up and we were ready to play.
That's when we all pretty much came together, because it was a state versus state, and we had to go out there and represent our state.
The atmosphere at the Sabe game was really powerful, and just feeling that you knew that something had changed and you could feel that a new team was born.
and suddenly the infinite and penitent began to look like home. I've been thinking about everyone, you look so empty. But when I look at the sun,
I ran to the left, and I just ran through. I hit it hard. I could feel it. I felt fast, and I just hit it. And one of their safeties was coming at me, and he kind of had a pursuit angle on me, and I didn't know what to do. Should I stiff arm him? Should I try to choke him? Should I try to outrun him? And it was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I just stopped, and he just went right by me. I just pushed him aside, and I just walked into the end zone. And I have to say that was probably the best one. It was really fun, and it was fun to watch on video too.
30 draw.
Oh, 30 draw. Wraparound draw, 30 draw is always a play that everybody likes.
Everybody's responsibility is just to hide Chris. Let him have that few seconds and then break the run, as he did many times. And that was something else.
And I put my hand down and it's shaking because it's one of those plays that's either going to work like a charm or you're going to get the crap knocked out of you. And it worked like a charm. And then I threw up.
We were going in to our first district ball game and playing an undefeated team. We lined up in a full house backfield and two tight ends and just proceeded to come off the ball and reestablish the line of scrimmage. Still, with the way some of our district teams were running points up and speed and all that, I still wasn't, sure that we were going to be able to play a lot of them guys.
Don't
smash mouth football, which as an O-line coach, that's your favorite kind, and that'll stick out in my mind. It's one of my favorite moments in coaching to this point. Was we just lined up and said, hey, we're coming right at you. We're not trying to trick you. Here we come, and see if you can stop it.
I'm just another soul for sale. Oh well. The pages out of press. We are not permanent. Same old story. What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're the pretender. What if I say that I never surrender? What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're the pretender. What if I say that I never surrender? So who are you? Yeah, who are you?
The most memorable moment was probably, well, not for me, but probably for my friend Cody Oswald and his big hit during the 7 Links game. And that was just something that he deserved. And it really just made the crowd fired up.
Strength and courage. Strength and courage. We talked about it. You need to live it tonight.
Interception against Taylor, and I took it into the end zone, scored my first varsity touchdown. It was the greatest feeling ever. I saw the play action, and I knew where I had to get to. I knew what play they were running, so I just jumped the route, threw it right to me, and I had nothing but clean tail into the end zone.
A great game that I had was the Mid Creek game. I had a stage 2 bacterial eye infection, and I really couldn't see out of my left eye the entire game. And to be honest with you, I just wanted to get off the field. I wanted to go down there, score, get off the field, and put ice on my eye. And that was the best game I've ever played.
It's always fun to see the offensive linemen just mash people and turn them over, and the backs just be able to pick their holes and make up 4 and 5 and 6 yards a pop. That's a lot of fun.
The toughest offensive line I played all year was a scout team. It was an eye opener. It was a real shocker. When I think about it now, it's kind of funny.
May Creek. It's halftime. We were sitting on the bench, and Raul and Joey sitting very close to each other, you know, in crisscross applesauce. And I mean, they looked like two love couples. I mean, I don't know what they were talking about, but I mean, you could see the passion in their conversation, and it was so funny. It was hilarious. That was probably the funniest moment.
Overconfident. I think it was a little bit of overconfidence. You know, I think it was just the little things we took for granted, and that's what cost us.
And then throughout the year, at times in cruise times, especially in the Cinco game early on, we turned the ball over, and that makes a difference. You know, we talk to kids every week about that. The ball security is real important, and if they don't take care of the football, and especially against good teams, it's going to cost you.
Tigers, number 4, Will Jeffrey.
In Singer game, I was forcing things, you know. If things weren't working, I'd force them, try to make something happen, but you can't do that.
I don't know, just kind of, we let it go early in the first half. They scored some points and we just couldn't come back. I mean, we held them in the second half to nothing until overtime, and just couldn't get done.
It was not good. It wasn't fun. It wasn't, you know, people talk about how, you know, it really helped us and all that. Oof. I think it just embarrassed us bad.
You know, I think that it was just one of those things you could, you know, you could sense that they were flat. You know? You don't go into the playoffs playing flat because, you know, we talked to them about, you know, a lot of upsets the first round of the playoffs. That we weren't good enough to play flat. They came out and played with a little bit of fire and a little bit of abandon.
I think going in the first playoff game against Stratford, there was a lack of enthusiasm. And then when we got in the locker room right before we came out for the game, Coach Joseph let us know that we could not do that and win the game. And he got us excited by yelling at us, and we played good that game.
His
And I sensed the confidence growing, you know, after that game. Because really, we went out and played real well against Dumbledore. We weren't flat, you know, at the start of that game. I thought, you know, they were growing up.
Big F rocks like on the ground. Little like socks that's on the ground. Because when I arrive, I'll bring the fire, make you come alive. I can take you higher with the sense for God. Let's not remind you, let it rock, let it rock, let it rock. Because when I arrive, I'll bring the fire, make you come alive. I can take you higher with the sense for God. Let's not remind you, let it rock, let it rock, let it rock. Just let it rock, let it rock, let it rock.
I'm gonna tell all you right now. If you've got any pride about you at all, you got any pride about being a part of this program, you'll go out there and get after ass. You're not gonna let people walk down in the field and try to tongue your ass out there. No, you'll come in here and do that to this program and sit there and try to get away. You prove to them that you are the defending state champions and that you are, man, you're gonna do it again.
Started staring at the passengers waiting goodbye. Can you tell me what was ever really special about me all this time? But I believe the world is burning to the ground. Oh well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see how far we go. Let's see how far we go. I believe it all is coming to an end. Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend. Let's see how far we go. Let's see how far we go. We could turn to the clock, but I don't really know. And I can't remember caring for an hour or so. Started crying and I couldn't stop myself. I started running, there's nowhere to run to. I sat down on the street, took a look at myself. So that you go and you know the road is headed for hell. Say your goodbyes if you got someone you can say goodbye to. The world is burning to the ground. Oh well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see how far we come right now. Let's see how far we come. I believe it all is coming to an end. Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend. Let's see how far we come. Let's see how far we come.
Last couple of weeks, you actually look like a very confident football team. You look like a team that plays inspired football. I expect to see an inspired effort out there today. You got one chance to play the quarterfinals this year. That's right now. There are no tomorrows. This is it. You got one chance. Take advantage of the opportunity.
week against Smith Valley. Maybe a little bit of revenge from a few years back?
Well, we're 1-1. They played them for the third time to play them. They've got a great program and a great staff, and they do a great job coaching. But I think our kids will be ready to play.
Halftime of the Smith Valley game. They were a good football team, and they were challenging us in not only just on the field, but in other ways. There were some things happening. We were getting a lot of penalties, and they were. We just felt like that there were some breaks going their way, and we wanted our kids to respond to that and succeed in spite of those things.
And you're going to overcome those officials, you're going to overcome all that crap, and you're going to go out and you're going to smoke their ass that second half. You're going to take that ball in that first series and you're going to stuff it right up their ass. Let's go. I am tired of their coach ripping on the officials, telling them to make calls. We're going to go out and kick their ass and put this away, and we're going to play it reliably.
So, just kind of wanted to let them, respond. And, so anyway, it was an exciting halftime.
Well, right when the play was brought in, they were like 30 draw, and then I looked at Weber, and Weber was like, he goes, he's like, man, just stay in there, just stay in there. So right when I got the ball, I stayed in there, and sure enough, number 30 scraped across and just took off running, and I tried to dodge Poteet. He was diving on the ground. That's why I kind of stumbled.
I think Katy football's commitment and commitment to excellence. I think the sign when you walk in the thing, when excellence becomes tradition, greatness has no limits. I think that's a pretty good statement right there about what Katy football is.
I understand what this program and all its tradition and all of its heart and commitment can do. And so I knew coming this year we weren't the most talented football team to ever come into Katy High School. But without a doubt, I knew we had a chance.
It's state. It's what we live for. This is what we live for. All 4 years of our life is for this one game.
It doesn't matter if you get there in 16th game, you lose, it's no good.
We weren't the same team in week 14 that we were in week 10. We weren't the same team in week 14 that we were in week 2. we were a completely different football team by week 16. Week 16, we had the capabilities of playing well. It wasn't going to be well enough to win a state championship. Nobody knew that.
Words can't describe, and I want all you younger kids to understand this too. You can't describe what our senior class went through this year. To sit there and be told from the very beginning that you're no good, you won't win anything, you're not as good as everybody else. I think it proves if you go to work and you truly believe